Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Gemi, and honestly, I'm freaking out a little. Today we're diving into something dark, something mysterious, something that keeps me up at night, creepypastas. You know, those stories that start as whispers on the internet and somehow crawl their way into your brain. Yeah, those. We're talking about the scariest, the strangest, the ones that make you question if you should sleep with the lights on. And trust me, after researching this, I might have to. So what even is creepypasta? It's not just some random internet slang, okay? It's way deeper than that. Imagine a digital campfire, but instead of telling stories about cute little squirrels, people are sharing these terrifying tales. Think stories about cursed videos, mysterious creatures lurking in the shadows, and people going missing in the most messed up ways. It's like the internet's version of scary stories whispered at sleepovers, but a million times creepier. And the name? It's like a creepy twist on copypasta. You know, when you copy and paste something, these stories, they get copied and pasted all over the internet, spreading the fear faster than a bad rumor. And the stories themselves? They're not just your typical ghost stories. They're often super detailed, super disturbing, and they stick with you long after you've finished reading. It's like they get under your skin, you know? The thing is, these stories, they feel real, scarily real. And that's what makes them so terrifying. It's like that line between fiction and reality, it starts to blur, and you start to wonder, what if? Okay, so we gotta talk about the legends, the ones that have haunted our dreams and fueled countless nightmares. These are the stories that have been whispered around campfires, shared in hushed tones, and spread like wildfire across the internet. The stories that started it all. The ones that have become the foundation of modern horror folklore. The ones that still give me chills just thinking about them. These tales have a way of burrowing into your mind and staying there, lurking in the shadows. First up, we have Slender Man. This figure has become synonymous with internet horror. You know him, right? Tall, faceless, wearing a suit like he's going to a funeral. This dude is everywhere. From the deepest corners of the web to mainstream media, Slender Man has made his mark. He's like the internet's boogeyman, a figure that embodies our deepest fears of the unknown and the unseen. He stalks children, lurks in the background of photos, and just thinking about him sends shivers down my spine. The idea that he could be anywhere, watching, waiting, is enough to keep anyone up at night. And the creepiest part? No one knows where he came from. He just appeared one day like a ghost from the digital ether. He just appeared one day, and now he's a global phenomenon. People from all over the world have reported sightings and encounters, making him a truly universal figure of fear. Then there's Jeff the Killer, a name that sends a chill down your spine just hearing it. Oh my god, this guy, his story is one of the most disturbing out there. Imagine a teenager who just snapped, a normal kid who turned into a monster overnight. He's got this creepy carved smile, huge staring eyes, and he's like the poster child for internet horror. His image is unforgettable, seared into the minds of those who have seen it. His story is brutal, and his image, it's burned into my brain forever. The sheer brutality of his tale is enough to make anyone uneasy, and the worst part is, there are people out there who, idolize him. It's messed up. The fact that some see him as a hero or a figure to be admired is truly disturbing. And last but not least, we have Smile Dog, a legend that has haunted the internet for years. Okay, this one still freaks me out. The image alone is enough to give anyone nightmares. It's this picture, right, of a dog. But it's smiling, really, really smiling. It's not a friendly smile, it's something much more sinister. And the eyes? Don't even get me started on the eyes. They seem to follow you, piercing into your soul. The story goes, if you see the picture, you have to show it to someone else, or else something terrible will happen to you. It's like a curse that spreads from person to person. It's like a digital chain letter from hell, a never-ending cycle of fear and paranoia that keeps the legend alive. Chapter 3, More Than Just Stories. But here's the thing about creepypasta, you guys. It's not just a collection of spooky tales to read when you're bored or looking for a thrill. It's not just about the stories themselves. It's about the community that forms around these stories, the connections people make. It's like this whole underground world of people who are obsessed with horror, and they come together online to share their fears, their stories, and their creativity. They bond over their love for the macabre and the mysterious. It's actually kind of amazing in a really creepy way, the way people from all over the world can connect over a shared love of being scared. People write stories, they share them, other people read them, get inspired and write their own versions. It's a cycle of creativity and fear that keeps going and going. It's like this constantly evolving tapestry of terror woven together by thousands of different voices. And the mysteries. Oh, the mysteries. Don't even get me started on the mysteries. Some of these stories are so intricate, so detailed that they leave you questioning what's real and what's fiction. So many of these stories, they don't have endings. Or if they do, the endings are so open-ended that they leave you with more questions than answers. Or they have these open-ended conclusions that leave you with more questions than answers. It's like the writers want you to keep thinking about the story long after you've finished reading it. It's like the writers want you to fill in the blanks, to use your own imagination to conjure up the most terrifying possibilities. They want you to become a part of the story. And trust me, my imagination is pretty good at coming up with scary stuff. Sometimes it's even scarier than the stories themselves. And then there are the challenges. These are not just stories to read, but dares to be taken. Oh my God, the challenges. Some of them are so intense, they make you question your own bravery. Some stories, they're not just stories, they're like invitations to participate in something bigger, something darker. They're like invitations to participate in something bigger, something darker. It's like being part of a secret club where the initiation is a test of your courage. Like, there's this one story, right? It tells you to go into your bathroom at night, turn off the lights, and say a certain phrase into the mirror. It tells you to go into your bathroom at night, turn off the lights, and say a certain phrase into the mirror. And supposedly, something terrible will happen. And supposedly, something terrible will happen. People swear by it, saying they've experienced things they can't explain. I'm not saying I believe it, but I'm also not saying I'm brave enough to try it. It's that blend of curiosity and fear that makes these stories so compelling. Chapter 4. When fiction bleeds into reality. But here's where things get really real, you guys. We're talking about the kind of stories that start on the internet and then somehow they find a way to creep into our everyday lives. Creepypasta, it's not just contained to the internet anymore. These stories, they spread like wildfire, reaching people all over the world. It's like it's seeped out into the real world. Like, remember Slender Man? That eerie figure that haunted the internet for years? That story inspired a whole video game series. People were so captivated by the legend that they wanted to experience the fear firsthand. And there's this show called Channel Zero, and each season is based on a different creepypasta story. It's like these tales have taken on a life of their own. It's actually really good, but also super creepy. The kind of show that gets under your skin and makes you question what's real and what's not. Like, I can't watch it alone at night creepy. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to sleep with the lights on. But there's a dark side to all of this. A really dark side. Because sometimes these stories, they inspire people to do really messed up things. Because sometimes these stories, they inspire people to do really messed up things. It's like the line between fiction and reality gets blurred, and some people can't tell the difference. Like, remember that story about Slender Man? It was just a creepy tale, right? But it became something much more sinister. Well, a few years ago there was this case where these two girls, they stabbed their friend because they believed Slender Man told them to do it. They were so convinced by the story that they acted on it. It was a huge deal, and it really showed how these stories, as fictional as they may seem, can have a very real impact on people. It was a wake-up call to the power of these narratives. It's like the line between fantasy and reality, it gets blurred, and some people, they just can't tell the difference anymore. And that's terrifying. It's a reminder of how powerful stories can be and how they can shape our perceptions and actions in ways we might not even realize. Outro sweet dreams? So, yeah, creepypastas. They're scary, they're strange, and they're definitely not for the faint of heart. But there's something about them, something alluring, something that keeps us coming back for more, even if it means sleeping with the lights on. That was our episode for today from Excitement and Mystery. If you enjoyed this terrifying journey, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with all our new content. Tell us in the comments, what is the scariest story you've read online? See you soon in a new episode full of excitement and mystery.